Good evening and welcome back to Prime of Midlife. It is Thursday evening, and this evening we are talking various things, including prices and rules. So, the prices I'm talking about, there's been some reports today. Witherspoons have put up their prices, and people are horrified. Um, Don't know why, because Witherspoons is the same as any other restaurant. Prices go up, they're going to have to put up their prices. But seemingly the prices are quite weird. It's like £3 and 1 pence for something, or 54 pence for something. So yeah, that has seemingly been quite noticeable today. I think the large breakfast has gone from six something to £8 or £9, something like that. Some things are up quite a bit. Also, because that's what you would expect, is the prices to be going up just now. The other thing that I read about with prices was that funeral prices are going down, not because the cost of funerals are going down, but because people are not having such large services now. Seemingly a lot of this direct cremation, which is one of the cheaper ways of doing things, where it literally is, the funeral director deals with everything and your family gets your ashes. That's basically it. And that's roughly about £1,000. Now, I know that for my father's funeral, which was 2 years ago, we had a service at the local crematorium, and that was it. There was no wake, there was no nothing. And it was a celebrant we used, and just a normal wooden coffin. And I mean, that was almost £4,000 for a very minimal ceremony. So, quite a difference for either or. But seemingly there's a lot of people are now going for the less fancy option, and are looking just to get things done quickly, efficiently, and for less money. So yeah, that's another thing. Seemingly the other thing that is being quite noticeable is the no-fault divorces. Seemingly within the no-fault divorces that have come in, which, if you've got all your little ducks in a row, you can just pretty much almost do online. They were introduced last year, I think, and divorce rates have risen like 11% or something, or increased by, there's 11% more people than expected or something. Now, some of them, some of the solicitors have been saying, well, what's happened is people who were intending to get divorced probably waited for that legislation to come through. But there's others also with a financial crisis that divorces are increasing. So yeah, there's a whole lot of that going on. My other thing, it was somebody was saying about, we need to have the quiet coach. We need to stand up for the quiet coach in trains. And I will come on to that a bit later, but that got me thinking, what happens if you book your seat on a train and someone sits in it and they won't move? What can you do? Nothing. What happens if you're in the quiet coach and someone's sitting there with their son? What are you going to do? Nothing. And in many situations now, there's not even a guard on the train, so there's nothing you can do. What do you do if someone jumps the queue in a store or at the entrance to a festival? Not a lot you can do unless you're willing to get into fisticuffs. And I've noticed that over the years that, whereas normally if you would go out and say tell the kids to stop doing something, or if they were, messing up your garden or whatever, you'd be let out and you would tell their parents would apologise. Nowadays that doesn't happen. And it's encroaching into so many areas of society now that people are keeping themselves to themselves more because they just don't want to get involved. And I think that's a shame. So, yeah, there was just that thought of, do we have any recourse for those kinds of things? And basically, no, we don't. Sad as it may seem, because, the guard in a train can't do anything. If the kids outside are not going to stop messing about, you can't do anything. The police aren't going to do anything unless it's a crime, and even if it's a crime, then a lot of the time they're not going to do anything. So it's quite sad, really, because that's, I think, been the beginning of the demise of us being involved in the local communities as much. And I think that's quite sad. So yes, that was my other thing. And the thing about the quiet coaches was, I read a thing about self-care, and burnout and things. It's somebody's written a book, I can't even remember who it was. And what they're saying is that, having a 15-minute bath is not going to stop. It's not enough to just do some self-care for 15 minutes a day or something. We need to start caring for each other and looking after each other, which I think is a lovely thought. I like that. And I'm trying to think, my first thought when I read that was, I shall have a prime of midlife hour. I shall have an hour where I say, take a time out. This is prime of midlife hour. Take time out, rest, relax. Check in with each other. Then I thought, to check in with each other, I'll need to do a live, which means I need to be at Patrick's for the speed, for the Wi-Fi, because my speed's not good enough. And then I was like, but then there's people from all over the world. So that's different time zones. So what would the best time zone be? And I tied myself in knots. I've got no clue what I'm doing. But it seemed like a good idea at the time. So I thought I would tell you what I was thinking. So suggestions in the comments below, please, because I have no clue what I'm doing. But I think it's a good idea. I just haven't worked out how to make it reality yet. Whether we just make it like a specific time and I say tomorrow at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's it. And whether it's tomorrow at 3 o'clock in the afternoon in the UK, or whether it's tomorrow at 3 o'clock in the afternoon in the US, or in Australia, or anywhere else in the world. And then, of course, I'm thinking, well, no, because people will be working. So I'm like, right, okay, so we'll do it about 6 o'clock. No, they'll have the kids to get tea for. Then I'm thinking, at 7, 8, that's kids' bedtimes. So 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock at night sounds good. Friday night at 9 o'clock, are you not want to go out and party? Don't be stupid, Cam. I'm way past partying out at 9 o'clock at night. So I'm thinking possibly Friday night at 9 o'clock. What I could possibly do is do one of those premiere things. Make a video and then premiere it, because then I can chat to you on the chatty thing. I need to go and investigate that. I'll go and investigate that as well. Can you tell my brain's going again? So anyway, enough of that. Eating today. Eating today was good and bad and a bit squinty. So, for breakfast, I was very good. I had my banana and toast. So that was 20 pence for the banana and for the bread and 16 pence for the banana. So we know that. Mid-morning snackies was chocolate digestives. And I would say probably about 60 pence worth. And then if I add on the 40 pence worth that I had last night after I made the video. So there was chocolate biscuits. Now, I had taken in the noodle chow mein thing that I made yesterday for my lunch. However, the boss was doing some cooking this morning and he made these really, really delicious, if you picture in your head meatballs, but they were fish balls. He made them with tuna and oatmeal and onions and herbs and stuff, and did them in the air fryer, because we have an air fryer in the office, and did them with ciabatta and with cherry tomatoes, and they were absolutely lush. I was like, we're having this. So I tried to work out how much that would cost, because that was really my lunch. So I've decided the ciabatta would have been 32 pence, the tuna would have been 50 pence, and the tomato 20 pence. So that would have been like £1 and 2 pence altogether for that lunch. So it's like, right, that's fine. And it was so filling, like so filling. Mandy and I did not have lunch at all. We had like a couple of biscuits before we went away, and that was it until I had dinner. So yeah, that's quite expensive. Not quite expensive, quite filling is the word I was talking about. And then I have Patrick here this evening, and we couldn't decide what we wanted for dinner, and we couldn't be bothered going up the road for a Chinese even. It was just like, bleh, want to rest. You know, I'm off for 4 days. This is like chill time. So what we had was a Lorne sausage sandwich, which is the Scottish square sausage. So work that out, and your bread, of course, is 20 pence, as we know now. And the Lorne sausage, I decided, was 73 pence when I worked out how much it was per, you know, when you got a pack of 12 and divided it, etc. So all in all, my eatings today is £3.61. However, £1.30 of that is chocolate digestives. So really, it would be £2.31 if I hadn't eaten all those biscuits. So it was really quite a frugal day today, but I completely ruined it with chocolate digestives. So there you go. So that has been my stuff today. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. I have the whole day off. I will be pluttering. I will be doing whatever. No doubt there will be videos abounding. So I will leave you in peace. I hope you have a lovely Thursday night, and I will catch you later.